Hello, can any other person hear me? Yeah.
I can hear you now.
Hear me?
Perfectly.
Can you hear me now? Okay. All right, you're welcome.
Thank you so much.
It's so good to have you here today.
So good to be here.
You're
Thank you for
welcome.
having me, and well done for the fantastic work you're doing.
Thank you. It's been quite a lazy day.
Needed some
One
time.
of those Saturdays that you just don't feel like doing anything. You just want to lie down and rest.
It's allowed. It's allowed.
Hello everyone. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. So our guest is here today. Thank you very much for honoring our invitation and showing up today. I was expecting that, I'd already planned my mind that maybe I'll style my hair in a particular way. The way you styled your hair for the webinar.
No,
Hey, I said, hey,
we're
this
just
is our coach wants to kill us.
let's calm down. It's a Saturday. Let's just relax. So that we don't prepare people too much. Let's just come humble.
Prepare them. Hey. So I was like, okay, I'll try to, because I've seen you tie a scarf that way, and then you did it with your braids. And I was like, okay, maybe I should even try to do that to represent you while you're coming here today. But man, it's not my thing. I just gave up on it. I said, let me just come the way I am. Thank you very much for coming. Hello everyone, you're welcome. So if you're just joining, our guest today is Grace Amoka. And let me just quickly introduce her so that we'll get going. Thank you everyone for joining. I see you. All right, so let's meet Grace Amoka, a trailblazer educator who epitomizes the power of global relevance, both within and beyond the confines of the classroom. Despite holding a bachelor's degree in computer engineering from the prestigious Covenant University, Grace bravely pivoted from her engineering profession to pursue her calling in education. She holds a master's in education technology and continues her pursuit of knowledge through various certificates, embodying the essence of lifelong learning. Drawing from her experiences as an education consultant for esteemed institutions like African Leadership Academy and the World Bank, she firmly believes that every teacher possesses a vital voice in shaping educational policies and decisions. So she's here to give us that voice. Okay? Through our one-on-one and group coaching programs, the Profitable Teacher Program, Grace empowers ambitious educators to distinguish themselves, become beacons that attract global opportunities for greater impact, income, and influence. Our guidance is rooted in the belief that teaching transcends mere instruction, and teachers have the potential to effect profound changes on a global scale. Grace is a passionate sign language interpreter. Maybe she'll do some signs for us today. Dedicated to empowering members of the deaf community by fostering their mindsets and equipping them with valuable skills to build sustainable livelihoods. Beyond her role as an exceptional educator, Grace is an inspiring figure in various domains. As a member of Toastmaster International, she has several honors to her name as one-time president, program quality director, mentor, coach, and award-winning speaker. Additionally, she is a prolific author, having penned books like Dear Teacher, beautiful scars, colors of hope, and share and shine. A teacher's guide to social media content excellence. With an impressive portfolio of over 400 clients trained and coached in over 7 countries, Grace Impact knows no borders. Our mission is to inspire individuals to recognize the boundless possibilities awaiting them when they open their hearts to new opportunities. Through our unwavering dedication to the advancement of education, Grace proves that teachers are not confined to classrooms, but can make their voices heard on a global stage, shaping the future of learning and empowering generations to come. So with your hands together and you're rolling, please let's give it up for our guest, Grace Amoka. You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
What a portfolio. Hey.
You know something?
Okay.
Just start off. I know. Yinka says, what an inspiring bio. Before now, when my bio was read, I would be covering my face and forming, oh, I'm shy and things like that. And it's the unfortunate thing that we've been taught. We've been taught that is humility. So, oh my goodness, is it me they're talking about? But the question, Mary, is, have I done these things? And the answer is yes. So I'm learning to own it with my full chest. And that's what I say to my clients. You've done the work. The loudest people are the ones making noise all over the place and getting the opportunities. And the people that are doing the work are there hiding themselves because they have been told that, oh, be humble, your good work will speak for you, my darling. Like my coach always says, your good work needs a voice, and there's nothing wrong with your voice. I know they did not ask me to say anything, but I just thought to put it out there. So when you're asked to talk about yourself, I'm not saying lie, don't lie. But if you've done great work, say you've done great work. That's it. A friend is going in for an interview with the World Bank in December, and she was asking me for tips. And, you know, after saying all the things I think she should work on and just focus on, the final thing I said, which I consider the most important thing, is I said, go there and be. Like, don't go there and they ask you a question and you're trying to, so I don't want to do too much. I don't want to be too much. God made you too much. So go there and be. When you turn on the light comes on. The light doesn't say, let me not shine plenty so that they will not say I'm too lighty. No, there's nothing like being too much of light. Light is light. Light shines. That's what it's meant to do. So just go and be. When you show up every single day in your life, be. Just, I used to joke with my clients and say, tear your shirt and enter the streets. That's Superman. Open it, let us see. Because the world needs what you have. But you've decided to be, and I say humble in quotes, that's not humility. Thinking less of yourself isn't being humble, yeah? You're denying the world of the value that God has put inside of you. It is very selfish and self-centered. It's not about you. The essence of light and salt is not for themselves, yeah? Okay, over to you, Mary.
Yeah. We've not started, We've not started. We're already hearing back. Please. You have just told me that you came for me. Yeah? You have just told me that you came for me. Honestly.
Small G's, a Saturday G's.
Because this thing about, it's not humility, like you said. It's not humility. They're just, I would like to put it, you're doing so much, but you don't even know how to shine that light on the things that you're doing. You're making it look like, I'm trying to be humble, I don't want to make noise and all that. And I've been in circles where this thing goes on and on. And you just imagine people that are doing half as much as you, make so much noise, and they're being recognized. And you that you're doing, and you're just like, okay, you now start feeling bad with yourself. Now start feeling, hey, what a way to start. What a way to start this conversation, because they are just pulling us like, you cannot afford to not continue on this conversation. Thank you for that insight. Like, we have to keep shining our light. So now, tell us, since you're talking to teachers, what inspired you to become a teacher? From an engineering degree to education.
Okay, so the first thing I would like to say, and I've told this story too many times, but I feel like every time I tell the story, I get inspired by different elements. And one of the elements that I'd like to really talk about today is the fact that sometimes we realize purpose in hindsight. And let me help you understand. So looking back now, I can say things like there were different elements that came into be to kind of like shape my career choices. I'm only able to say that because we're here and I'm looking back. So the challenge is to say, what is it that you're doing now? The Bible says, whatever your hand finds to do it with all your might. So stop in the search of purpose, not do anything. So you're sitting down doing nothing, being nothing, because in your mind you're looking for purpose. Having said that, I come from a family of teachers. My dad, interesting fact, my dad wanted to marry a teacher, and his reason was simple. He wanted someone that would have time to be home with the children. We're very family oriented. That's the kind of home that I grew up in. But God is so amazing. His ways are not our ways. He ended up marrying a nurse who eventually became a nurse tutor. So she pretty much teaches and trains teachers. And then, so his dream came true, but not in the way that he thought. Exactly. So when we ask God for something, leave it in his hands and let him do it the way that he wills to do it. In your quest for finding what he has brought you here for, leave it in his hands and trust him that he's leading you. So I don't believe in coincidences in my life. So I finished secondary school as every other person and I wanted to go to university. And my parents are like, oh, do whatever. But I didn't know what exactly I wanted to do. I was in the sciences. And I remember my dad and I going through the JAM brochure and he's like, oh, how about mechanical engineering? I'm just like, no, I want to be a soft girl in life. It sounds too hard for me. We went through all the engineering and it's not like now that there are so many options for people to decide what they want to do. At the time, if you were in sciences, you're either a medical doctor or engineer or just those nice sounding professions. And I settled on computer engineering and then went into Coventry University. I didn't do badly, to be honest. I graduated with a 2-1, so it wasn't like I was doing badly. I had done my IT in a hardware company where we fixed computers and all of that. At some point after school, I worked a bit in Nigerian Defense Academy, their IT department, yeah. But there was something missing, backtrack to when I did my National Youth Service. I had just one desire. I'm like, God, I want to know what you want me to invest my life doing, because I realized that life is much more than just being here, working a lot and making money. You buy 1 house or 2 houses, you buy cars, you get married, have children, and die. That's not God's plan for your life. So I'm just like, God, just help me understand what you want me to do. And back to what I said about trust God that he's leading you. He's not a wicked father that you would ask for something and then he'll be like, let me show Mary Pepe so that she will know that I'm God. No, that's not the kind of father that you have. So in trusting God, I believed that from that point he was leading me, yeah? So in leading me that year, NYSC, they're like, everybody would teach. And while my other colleagues were upset about it, there was this excitement. So I served in Lagos and I served in Green Springs. And I was every day I was bubbly going to school. Like it was like I was in my element. But at the time, I was an engineer. I had great plans for my life. I had applied for my master's because in Covenant University, when you graduate from Covenant University, by default, you go for your master's, you go abroad. Do you understand? So it's like that's the pathway. So I had all those plans. I had gotten a part scholarship to go for my master's in IT. I don't even remember the specific course, but it was information technology something, yeah? And then I was excited doing this teaching thing. And then I was having a conversation with Mr. Balogun. I'm sure that man is tired of me saying his name, but I can never say this story without mentioning Mr. Balogun. Your life is a message to someone. Every conversation you have is either shining light on the path of another person or it's diminishing their light. That's why I'm very intentional with the way that I live my life. I was having what we would describe as a random conversation with Mr. Balogun. And I asked him, how did you, because he was the youngest teacher there, but he was the highest paid teacher. And that was when I even realized that this thing we're complaining about, that teachers are poor, no, there are teachers and there are teachers. Because Mr. Balogun was living the life. He was a cool guy. And that time, Green Springs was experimenting with 80 minutes lessons. So one period was 80 minutes. And that's the school is a fantastic school, to be honest. They try out all these strategies and see how the strategies work. Mr. Balogun was teaching geography. And for 80 minutes, the class was charged. I mean, there was no dull moment. He was innovative. There were so many exciting elements to it. He would make his students set goals for themselves and all of those things. I'm just like, oh my goodness. So one of those days, we're having the conversation. I asked him, how did you get stuck teaching? And he looked at me as if I plucked out his eyes, like, stuck? He knew he wanted to be a teacher since he was 8 years old. And as he narrated that, it threw me back to my 6, 7, 8-year-old self with my younger sister when we would be outside our house. We always had this imaginary stage, imaginary students. And at the time, all we knew about teachers were they used to flog us. So as teachers, we would flog our imaginary students. 3 of them, I can't forget their names. Abachi, Ikemu, Basange. Those were 3 of our prominent students in our classes. And as Mr. Balogun shared his experience, it took me back to that time. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. It felt like the puzzle pieces finally just fit. So I would always say Mr. Balogun it feels like he gave me validation. He gave me permission to say for the first time, I think I want to do this. Yeah. However, there was still a part of me that knew I didn't want to be poor and all of those kind of things. So I struggled for a bit before asking God, how do I finally embrace this calling and do it in a way that has never been done? I want teachers. I don't want to be pitied as a teacher. I don't want people to say, what do you do, teacher? Yeah, what happened? No. So I was clear about it. I will do what you're calling me to do, but I don't want to be pitied. I want people to see me as a teacher and be like, Kai, if you like say that's the profession I want to do. Yeah. So it was my desire from the get-go. Fast forward to, I went into business because I'm just like, how are we going to make this money and do our passion, So I got into the business world, got fantastic opportunities, got a scholarship with Lagos Business School, did fantastic things in the business world. And then finally, I'm just like, let's do this education thing. And then that's when I really started to think of how do I help teachers understand that the narrative you have been sold does not mean you have to buy it. Someone sold it to you that teachers are poor, dejected, and all of you don't have to accept it. And I always like giving examples of Tara Dorotoye in the beauty industry, examples of Fela Dorotoye, Lanre Olushola, when coaching was not a thing that people were embracing. But look at it today, because people dared to say, I want to do this. I don't know what the possibilities are, but I trust the one that has sent me, and I'm going to maximize all the potentials he has given to me. So I say teaching is just one of the ways that I showcase my God-likeness. That God in me, the skills that he has put inside of me. Teaching is just one way. But we have limited ourselves as teachers. And I know we're going to say, oh, we don't have the time, we don't have this thing. And one of the things I will ask you to do for yourself is put your 24 hours in a day. Put it, write it on a piece of paper. And ask yourself what you do with your day. Let me give you an idea of how you spend your day. You wake up in the morning and first thing you grab is your phone. And you're just like, let let me just, you will tell yourself, let me check my email. Maybe there's an urgent mail from work. You know you are lying. You are lying to yourself. You now start scrolling through Gmail. One message now pops up in your Instagram. You now open Instagram. That's how you are starting your day. You know, you don't have time here, but you have time to scroll the Instagram here. And then you go through Instagram. Before you know anything, it's time. You can't even do your devotion very well. Sharp, sharp, God, thank you. I'm so sorry. You know, so every day you're telling God sorry. Sharp, sharp, you enter bathroom. You're now shalata. You're sharp praying inside bathroom. You're like, God understands. We pray everywhere, pray in season. You are giving yourself justification for the nonsense that you are doing. We're all in it together. You finish having your bath, you rush to work. Get to work, finish your duties for the day. There are some pockets of the day that some of us will still go back to social media, yeah? You come back home, you tell yourself you're tired, so you want to have a downtime. And the way you have the downtime is back on social media. Give your time and ask yourself, what do I really use my time for? Because the truth is, you have pockets of time. I promise you have pockets of time. If you look for them, you will see them, yeah? So that's my journey into teaching from engineering. And it's been, is this my network or yours?
No, okay. Sorry.
Okay, that's fantastic. Yeah, so down to your question, my story of how I got into teaching has a lot of elements to it and a lot of people that have been very fundamental in helping me see that I was born to do this. Even before I got into teaching, I was always working with young children. So I would organize edutainment program during summer holidays because I just loved to be with children, and it was self-sponsored. So it wasn't like I was looking, no, I would organize it. My friends will send their children. By the following year, the children are asking how far. So it wasn't like I set out to really do these things. It's the children, they'll be like, okay, it's time for Muse. And then I got my friends would volunteer. The parents started saying, oh, I want to do this, you know, which is another lesson in that dream that you say you have. How have you given some life to it, and then people want to be part of it? Everybody wants to be part of a success story, but you have to show them the potential that is there. You can come and meet somebody and say, oh, I have this dream of building the next big thing, but we haven't seen how you yourself have invested into that dream. So I want to see how you've invested in that dream. And trust me, everybody likes to say, is it not Mary the millionaire teacher? We were together. We were hustling this thing. People like to be part of that story, but you need to give them seed to be part of that planting and nurturing process. Back to you, Madam Mary.
Oh, wow. Thank you very much. So someone asked a question while you were talking and said, when you said the reason why your dad wanted to marry a teacher was to have someone that closes early, because it was believed that teachers close early and all that. But today, that narrative does not stand true.
Yeah.
Teachers don't close early.
Yeah, I agree.
Teachers work even more than bankers these days. And you just begin to wonder, what is going on? Is this a positive side to the teaching job, or is it negative, or is this the future of teaching, or what really is going on in that aspect? Because nowadays people can't say I want to marry a teacher because the teacher would have more time. That's thing. My husband has said it to me too. That I used to think teachers have more time, but you don't have a lot of time to yourself and all that. So please, let's talk about that.
Okay. So I was having a conversation with Miss OJ, I think last week or so, and we were talking about, and the question she asked was, how do we keep teachers ambitious and still committed to their work in the classroom? And there are different sides to this, considering the challenges that we face within the school environment. If like you're saying, any teacher here knows how teaching is not, it's not just the physical energy requirements. It's the mental, is the you don't know how much of your children, especially if you really care, the kinds of things your children would share with you sometimes, the emotional burden that teachers carry. Yeah. So you need a therapist. Yeah. You need, like, teaching is not what it used to be, as you rightly said. So Ms. Ocean and I were saying how we need to start actively talking with every stakeholder, from the school owners, to say, there are things that your teachers are doing that they don't need to be doing. If you want them to be effective in their work, there are things that are not necessary. So let me give you a typical example, and I totally agree with it. When I went to Ron Clark Academy for the professional development training thing that we went for, and we were moving around the school, and a teacher asked, oh, I don't see, what's this thing, all this chats things and decorations, around the school. Well, how do the teachers get ready for the term? And Ron Clark said, when I hire my teachers, I don't hire them to be interior decorators. Hey, they think I'm just like Nigerian school administrators left the group chat because we major in minors, and then we minor in the things that we're supposed to be doing. And we need to start to think about these things differently. To the teachers, I would say, if you know, and that's one of the reasons you need to own the value you carry. You need to own that you're a professional in what you're doing, such that you're not part of the people that are complaining. You're going to have conversations with your school administrator to say, so you're not part of the Faladote has this gemstone 10 pillars that I really love. And one of them says, I'm a solution provider and not part of the problem to be solved. So how have you sat down and thought about it? How can we help teachers to maximize their time and cut away some of the dead work that we do? And then ask your school head, ma'am, I'd like to have a conversation with you about this, and this. And tell her, like, very, as a professional that you are, someone like me, I will do Canva presentation and show her these are the areas where I believe our teachers are getting stressed. And if she has sense, she will listen to you, because the turnout rates of teachers is very high. And you're telling her, I want to help you solve this problem by helping teachers conserve their strength and energy for things that matter. So you're telling her, if we cut out all of these activities and either outsource them or give them to just one person to be doing, I think teachers will be able to focus on their core assignments, which is, how can I make my children fall in love with the learning? How can I bring in innovative practices to the school? Those are the kinds of things we should be saying. We should have challenges as teachers to discuss, to say, oh, I've noticed that in my class, the engagement level is 70%. What do we do with the 30%? Are there particular children that I'm having challenges with when it comes to student engagement? What do we need to do? Do we need to increase the level of content that we're teaching? Do we need to improve the skills of the teacher? Is it on the part of the students? Those are conversations we should be having. Not calling meeting, and we're spending 1 hour on meetings that are not necessary. And I'm throwing it as a challenge to every teacher here. Don't say, it's true, or that's how my school is. Have you had a conversation about it with your school head? To say, these are things I feel we should be talking about. If they don't, so that's the first step to go. Don't be part of the problem. Don't be part of the complainers. Have a conversation about it. You're part of the school community. You're a valuable part of this community. How are you putting out your value? If madam says, no, I employ you to teach only, and that's all you're supposed to, I highly doubt, if you present this in the way that I've described, I doubt any right-thinking school owner will say, depart from me, I don't want to listen to you. But if that happens, I will tell you what I will do. I will start looking elsewhere. I will start looking to places where my voice is heard, when I feel like a fundamental part of this community, because I can't just be in a school and all I do is write on the whiteboard. That's not what I'm there for. I'm there to improve the school. And if my head of school knows that and has seen ways that I'm involved, if she still says no, then it's just simple. Our values don't align anymore, and I will take a walk. So apply to other places where you're part of the system. You're in that school not just to teach math and English. No, you're there to make change happen. Yeah. So I was saying to Miss OJ, we need to have more conversations with school owners to say, the more empowered your teachers are, the better for you. Hey God. See, if you train your teachers so well that every other person wants to poach them, but you treat them fantastically that they don't want to ever leave, that's the balance we're looking for. Do you understand? There are teachers that they will not leave. Like, no, what do you want to give them? People, and statistic has it. It's not just the money is a part of it. While teachers are leaving their jobs, but the number one reason is because they don't feel part of a vision. They don't see themselves as part of that vision. They don't see what role I'm playing here in the grand scheme of things. So if teachers feel that way, they will take a bow. They will take a bow. Someone says, I talked about the meetings. They'll stop only for 1 week and resume those meetings again till I walked away. Yes. So don't feel guilty walking away. I know people will say things like, oh, you do it for the children. Me too, I have children. Like, nobody should guilt trip you to stay in a job. Don't do that. Use your, yes, thank you, use your educator destiny to help other children. There are billions of children around the world. Nobody tied your placenta to that school you're working in. And I'm sorry if you're a school owner here, but if we do better, our teachers will stay. Yeah? Our teachers will stay if we do better. Another example of what I learned from Ron Clark Academy. If you look through the profile of the teachers there, there's none of them that is not either a keynote speaker that is invited around the world, or they are celebrities. Do you understand? And the school understands that we're not working with non-entities. These people are they are the most valuable resource that we have. When we give them wings to fly, guess who will benefit from it? Ron Clark. Because all I will keep saying is Mr. Harding is part of Ron Clark. Recently, one of the teachers just won a 40 under 40 award. Guess what people are saying? The teacher in Ron Clark Academy is foolish as a school admin. And I will use some men as an example. You've married this woman. I'm so sorry. They did not ask me this one. You've married this woman. She has taken your name. You are now dragging with her because she's prospering, like she's doing well in life. Okay, it's like you're why? The glory comes to you. Her name is now Mrs. Amoka, for example, for my mom. She's Mrs. Amoka. She's carrying your name. So the glory is yours. Do you understand? So it's the same thing school owners are doing. If your teachers are doing well, people are going to be like, Miss Mary, do you know the school she attends? Because of that teacher, you get parents enrolling their children in your school. But let's stop thinking like, let's not be greedy, basically, yeah? Thank you. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Thank you. Some points that you've noted. Okay, let me start from the last one. About a lot of times, school owners just want their teachers to shine within the school. Oh, they will so celebrate you. They will make your head swell. Best teacher this, best teacher that, and all that. And then you're not given opportunities to do this.
Hi, everyone. So I think Miss Mary is having calls coming into her phone. It's disrupting the network. Yeah. If you have any questions, I think you can drop the question. Yeah, that's all right.
All right. So as I was saying, like school owners just want their teachers to shine within the school. This teacher is so, like, they see the effectiveness of the teacher, they brag about it, and that's just where it ends. They don't want the teacher to shine outside the school. So when there are opportunities, like there's a training that is on a school day, the teacher is not allowed. The question the teacher is asked is, so what will happen to your class? Do you understand? Something like that. And then, or they just accept it's a training that the school is participating in, and then maybe they take a teacher from the school to go along and all that. Any training outside that the teacher, or if it's an opportunity that the teacher has to even speak somewhere or something, the teacher will not be given the opportunity. That's on one side. Then the other side about what you said about school owners, and the way when you talk about meetings, and keeping teachers in school unnecessarily. Sometimes some of these meetings start at the close of the day. You just hear that there's a meeting, and then talk about things that could have been avoided. For instance, where I just resigned, I was told I needed. Okay, so when I made the decision to resign, I was given the opportunity to close early, to, you know, I'm just trying to make me stay. But I thought about it. Beyond just stay, there were some things that presented I complained about. Are you willing to work on those things? It's not about making me close earlier. So when some of my colleagues there, they say, you are given the opportunity, you close early, you not even jump at it and all that. It was beyond closing early. I suggested some things. Are you going to take them? Are you going to work on them? Will it be implemented? Do you understand that kind of thing? And at the end of the day, will my closing early now not be a problem eventually? Because if those things are not implemented, we will still come back to where we started from. So leaving is always a decision, and this is a system that they don't waste time in laying people off. Do you understand? So when somebody said, you're not even lucky that they lay people off, and they were even begging you to stay, and you're still doing shakara and all that. It wasn't about doing shakara. It's just understanding your value and your purpose. So I just needed to throw that in. Like you said a lot, and a lot of people have been commenting and saying things. That meeting thing is just a big deal. Yes, they asked that question a lot. I told a potential employer I would be going for conference, and they asked me, so what will happen to your class? So
this is a reflection on us as a people, because it doesn't make any sense when your teachers improve themselves. Imagine the school that I teach in, and I'm on holiday right now, but by next year I'm going back to the classroom actively. That school cannot be the same. So it's a plus to you that your teachers are the best. So it doesn't make any sense. If you're a school owner here, hold your head and listen. It doesn't make any sense for you to stop your teachers from going for continuous development programs, especially when they are even sponsoring themselves. No, give them the wings to fly. Give them the wings to soar. Like, partner with them. It's the same way I think our policymakers as well think about teachers. You know, people feel like, oh, teachers, they are dull. They don't really have anything to contribute. I've sat in a policy meeting where the guy was like, oh, we need to, so when they say all this fancy rubbish about structured pedagogy, I hate hearing that thing. And it's stupid to me, because how do you tell me that your child that you cherish so much, the future of our nation, I'm putting them in the hands of a teacher, but I don't trust that teacher knows her job well enough. It shows that you yourself, you are the foolish person. It doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. So till we learn to give teachers that leadership, and the way you give people leadership is by letting them lead. Yes, there will be mistakes made, but can we start to see school communities as it's a joint effort. You understand? The school administrators, the teachers, the students were all working together to achieve a goal. So we're part of the same army. Parents are not coming to fight your teachers and you're throwing your teachers out there into the lion's den. No, we're partners in this. We're partners in this, from the parents to the children and the parents. Yeah. We need to do better, honestly. Like, we need to do better as a society. If you're a parent here and you don't think your child's teacher is wise enough, then why exactly is your child even in that school? So you need to have confidence in this person. We need to be able to have conversations like, oh, I noticed this about your child. How can we work together? Parental involvement you can't take away. Teacher involvement you can't take away. School admin. So we need to start doing, this together. Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much. Wow. Hey, this conversation there. You see the essence of my plans for next year. So today, we have to talk about it in camera. I've mentioned it, like I just mentioned it, but we have to structure it out in camera. You remember that? You remember this, right? Do you?
That's fine. That's fine.
All right. So now, can you tell us a memorable or rewarding teaching moment that has been significant or have made a significant impact on you? I know you talked about Mr. Balogun, yeah. But then, outside Mr. Balogun, can you just tell us?
Okay. Before I talk about one memorable moment, or while I'm thinking about one memorable moment, let me just piggyback on what Temitope just said. She says, repent. Treat your children's teachers with respect and dignity. Dear parents, you will not walk into a hospital and tell the doctor everything they're doing wrong and what they're doing. They will just give you an injection that will make you sleep and not wake up for 4 days. So please stop doing that to the teachers. Treat them as the professionals that they are. Do they have room for improvement? Absolutely. Every profession has room for improvement as well. That's why we're going for improvement programs. My clients, they pay me money. Do you understand? They pay me money. They come by themselves to say, I want to do better. I want to be better. I'm putting down my own money. Sometimes it's half of their salary for a month. Sometimes it's even more than that. Do you understand? But they make that investment in themselves. So please trust them. Give them the confidence they need to do their work. And to the teachers, trust yourself. Do you understand? If I start telling you who you are, you go anyways. So back to your question, a memorable event. I've had quite a lot, but one of the reason I'm sharing this, I will tell the reason I'm sharing this. It has to do with trusting our learners as well. The last conference I went for, the title was Making Students Leaders, something like that. And while other people were saying how, it's a fantastic idea to allow students lead, allow children lead and all of that, there was a part nobody was talking about. And that's the part that leadership is essentially by doing. And because it's by doing, there will be mistakes. So as you give your students that autonomy to lead, they're going to fail. And I said fail, yeah, with 20 L's at the back, so that you will allow your body accept it, that failure is simply part of the journey. It's because we don't realize this that we grow into adults that are afraid to take chances. So know that when you give your students a chance to lead, when you give your children at home opportunities to lead, they're going to fail. That's how we learn. That's how we discover. That's how God made us. I say all the time, this journey of life that you're living is not scripted. Jonathan, nobody has lived your life before. You need to be willing to try and then try again. You need to get comfortable with failing and moving from it. That's a life that is worth living. Don't keep staying at the edge of the cliff every time, scared to jump, and you realize that your unlived life is longer than the life that you are living. Yeah. So back to my story, the experience that really stands out for me. I love English classes. Anyone that knows me knows I really love English classes. And we did a comprehension passage about the tortoise and why the tortoise has a cracked shell. Of course, if you know the story, that has told the story so many times, but it was a profound experience that I had. And then I had one today as well, and I'll share that one. The tortoise wanted to fly like every bird in the sky, yeah. But because tortoise cannot fly, yeah. So he shared with his bird friends that, I'd like to fly, and they're like, we can help you. So they brought a stick and said, Mr. Tortoise, hold on to the stick in the middle. I, bird one, will hold on to the stick on the right side, and I, bird two, will hold on to the stick on the left side. And as we flap our wings and fly, you in the middle holding it with your mouth, you will have it will be like you're flying. You can't fly. Do you understand? And he gave the tortoise one instruction, which is don't talk. Because if you're holding onto the stick with your mouth, if you talk, of course, what will happen? You will drop. If you open your mouth, you will drop in the sky, yeah? And then they started the flying journey. And of course, if you read any of this journey stories, you know what happened. And then the tortoise was, oh my goodness, I'm flying. I wanted to now announce to his land animals, guys, behold me, I'm soaring in the air. And as he opened his mouth, he fell and broke his shell. And that's how the tortoise had his capture. And the superstar teacher that I am, what do you think the moral of the story is? The moral of the story, as a lot of textbooks would even tell you, is obedience. When your mother says you should wash plates, go and wash the plates. When your mother says don't go outside, obey her. And I decided to throw it open to my class to say, what is the moral of the story? What did you learn from the story? And amongst many info comments, which is one thing we fail to do, we have a lesson plan. And if anything from that lesson plan, the world has come to an end. You are frazzled. You are just like, help me, or they carry me where I don't know. Yeah? But one of my kids stood up and said, the lesson that we learned from that story is when God makes you in one way, don't try to be like another person. Because according to him, the problem started when the tortoise wanted to be like the bird, flying. I can't tell you how much it blew my mind because I couldn't have thought about that lesson. And it just helped me understand the power of letting your students give birth to what is already in them. Your role as a teacher is not to dump knowledge on them. It's to help them bring out. It's to help them birth. The second remarkable moment for me, and I'm going to share this so many times. My clients for cohort to just know that you're going to watch the video. Yeah. So Bankole Williams shared something on the stage today. It was about a man. He's a grown man. He was narrating his experience in school. And he said he was always tapping the table in class. And everybody, typical teachers, were frustrated. Like, stop tapping the table. Stop tapping it. And he was saying, yes, thank you all for staying in spite of all the challenges. So I was saying today, Bankole Williams shared a video on his Instagram. And it was about this world-renowned person that was sharing how when he was 6 years old in school, he was always tapping on the table. And of course, teachers in their normal fashion, they were frustrated. Stop tapping. But his 6-year-old self couldn't help it. Like he would just involuntarily find himself tapping. He got into trouble a lot of times. He would be sent to the principal's office and all of that. And one day he was doing it again, and one of his teachers said he should stay behind after class. And in his mind, he's just like, oh my goodness, I'm in trouble again. But what happened was different. After all the students had left, the teacher now asked him, have you ever thought about drumming? And then opened his drawer and gave him his first set of drumsticks. The guy is now, like he said, drumming helped him pay his way through school. He travels the world. The story was, it blew my mind, and then he talked about how there's always that one moment in time that we all have in life. And for him, that was one moment in time that he remembers. The teacher said something that I feel like I can preach an entire message on. The teacher said, "You're not a problem, you're a drama." And for me, it made me realize the many ways that we label our students, very subconsciously, even when we don't say it. So I'm doing this program where it's a diploma program, and I'm seeing things like low performance students. I'm just like, why the heck is a student referred to as low performance? Once you put a label on something, you call it something, that's what it becomes. And because I understand the power of the words that I carry, God said to Adam, I've given you, name the animals. And Adam says, this is lion. And that's what lion became. So if I say to my students, you do not have ADHD, my darling, you're a creative thinker, or you're not a troublemaker, you're a leader. You're not a challenge, you're just a resilient individual. Because I understand the power of the king maker that I am. I understand that when God made me in his image and his likeness, it means that creative ability that he has, I have it as well. So I have the ability to create. And I'm not going to use it to lambano money. So how we are now. We go to church and they say, this week is your week. You'll be shouting amen. The child wants to convulse. But you've not used that same power that you have to speak words of life into your students. My question is why? Why are you playing with that gift you have? So for me, honestly, it blew my mind. And I say it all the time. Your students will remember you. The question is, what will they remember you for? I can't wait for the next 5 years, the next 10 years, decades of my life, every single day. I'm 100% sure I'm going to be getting calls from my students to say, at that time it will be Mrs. Grace, yeah? So let's say Mrs. Grace.
Yes, sir.
Mrs. Grace, you helped me to see who I truly was. You are that one person that made me believe in myself. You made class home away from home. At home, I would face all of these challenges and all of these troubles. My parents were separated, but I looked forward to coming into your class because it was home for me. You believed in me. You spoke words of life in me. That is what I want my students to be saying. Not for them to remember me and they say, that woman, she's a big flog. How is that a testimonial that you want tied to your name for the rest of your life? So, dear teacher, use your God-likeness in important ways. You're shaping future. See, and I don't say it to hype. No, I'm not the part of the people that will hype you so that you work harder and they'll be paying you miserable amount of money. No. Use your God-likeness, that ability God has put into you. You're a prophet. Use it for your students. So between 2018 and 2020, I taught in a school where 90% of them, what am I saying 90%? Let's just say 90% to be just very moderate. They couldn't speak English. They couldn't even understand English, yeah? Guess what their punishment was? When they do something that I'm just like, you know better. We will stand in front of each other and I'll be speaking to you in English. Because I ain't going to speak Hausa to you. I'll be speaking to you. I'll tell you, Fatima Bello, I know that you're better than this. And I want to see you rise to your full potential. This thing you did, imagine the frustration. Imagine, Mary, that you're speaking to me in Igbo for 15 minutes. Hey! But I know there's a part of them that is hearing it. Because my words are spirit and they are life. So you will hear it. You are not this person. Or you're not this bad habits that you have. No, you're more than this. And I see that. And that's why sometimes it sounds like I'm hard on you, because I want you to step up and step out into the full potential that God has called you into. That's your job as a teacher. That's your job as a teacher. Not to be lion of the tribe of your school. You step into school, everybody's running away. Who do you think you are? Like, that's not it. That's not it. Yeah. So those are two experiences that have changed my life and changed my outlook to the work that I do as a teacher, knowing it's such a powerful thing. It's so powerful. It's so powerful that you have the opportunity. It's such a privilege to parent a child. I have children now without going to the hospital to give birth. Yeah. I have people that will say, Miss Grace told me I could do it. And because she said it, I believed it. And look who I have become. There's those students that has passed through me and not because of me, but by the grace of God. There's no student that has passed through me or that will pass through me that will not have something great to say. It's not possible. It's not possible. Their parents call me to say, Hadasa aced her JAM English, because that's the only one I used to teach. Like, so my tutoring, I focus on English in JAM. I don't used to do past my power. I'm a science student, but I don't used to go near chemistry, yeah. And they call me and they're happy. They pay for my services, so mind you. Do you understand? So the fact that you're making impact in people's lives doesn't mean that you shouldn't be paid well for it, yeah? But they will call me and say, thank you for the impact that you made in her life. Thank you for helping her believe in herself. Because the math and English you are teaching, it's going to be falling on deaf ears if you're not able to speak to the real person in the child that you're teaching, to help them to believe that there's nothing they can't do. See, there's nothing. I mean, not my students, no. Nah, yeah. So those are two experiences that I'm glad to share.
Oh, wow. Wow. Thank you very much for coming back and still continuing with the glass goose. Please, I don't know if anyone has a question. Somebody wanted to join. Miss Joyce, do you want to ask a question? Were you trying to join because you want to ask a question? Okay, so we didn't even get to ask you a lot of questions, and the gist has just been going on and on. Just 3 questions, Perry, and we're just gisting for over an hour. So I don't know if anybody has a question, but while we're waiting for any questions at all, we'd just like to have your final words, because we've kept you for a while. We just like to have your final words. Is there something that you would like to give to young and upcoming teachers, or to everyone that is in the profession?
My final words. This sounds very, I don't know why it sounds so hard, but I think my final words will be, when God says you are light of the world, he meant it. He meant it. He wasn't mincing words. When he said you're salt of the earth. So every day when you step out, ask yourself, as salt, how am I adding flavor to the people that I meet? And I mean, whether you're a teacher, you're in the education space or not, you are a human being. How am I adding flavor to the people that I meet? How am I shining lights? That's why I always talk about this whole solution provider thing. You have to carry that mindset, because it's who you are. You carry solutions on your inside. The affirmations that I shared with you guys, there's no problem that I don't have a solution to. That's my reality. It's who I am. That's why I'm not afraid to go to any interview panel, because I will give it to you and you will take it. Do you understand? I'm not carrying that fear energy that now makes me feel like, oh my goodness, what if? No, oh my goodness, nothing. Oh my goodness, I'm going to light up your lives. Oh my goodness, I'm going to be so excellent in everything that we start to talk about my Ankara jacket. Yes, it has happened. I've been on interview panels where we now start to talk about my fashion style. I'm not joking. I mean it. Or when we start to talk about the fact that I interpret sign language, or because every single part of me, I think Psalm 139 verse 14, no, before 14, I think 13, talks about how you knit me carefully. Hey, while I was stealing my mother's womb. Then 14 says, I will praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are your works, and my soul knows it very well. Jesus, my soul knows it very well. So all these things we're chasing, personal branding, all these things, you need to start from a place where your soul knows very well who you are. When your soul knows very well who you are, you will step out as light. You will not be asking yourself questions like, am I too much? Or no. Light is light. Light is light. Oh, light shines and darkness is taken away. Yeah. So those will be, I know, final words is supposed to be like one sentence, but just keep asking yourself, in what ways am I? It takes more effort to cover what is not. Yeah. So all the effort you're using to suppress the light that God has put inside you, you're stressing yourself. Stop it. Just be who God wants you to be. Light. Just be shining everywhere. Let your students be better versions of themselves because you came, because they met you. Let their lives be radically transformed. If your students are not talking about you in their homes, you have not really started shining. They have to talk about you. If what you're afraid of is what will people say, it's a fear that I honestly do not understand. So I'm afraid that they will say that, I've joined the people that have started charging money for my... Yes. So after they say it, is it true? Yes, it's true. So if they say it, they're just stating what is. Then what? Is he going to inside my account and remove the money? No, it's not. You are there selling shoe and bag, but you don't want me to make money on what the assignment God has given me. My coach always says impact and income, they can exist in the same sentence. And I'm not going to be apologetic about it. So if you're still afraid of it, welcome to the gang. Yeah, because the people that are talking, they are going to catch up in a few years from now. Are they going to catch up and you're going to regret having listened to naysayers? Is that what you want for yourself? No. Step out, step up, shine as light, be salt to the earth, because that's what God has made you. I'm going to close with why influence is important. And if you came for the webinar, I'm just going to say that story again. As a teacher, I'm not saying you need impact. No. You need money and influence. Money is not a bad thing. Influence is not bad. It's a tool. It depends on whose hands it's in. So it's a tool that God has given you. How are you using it? So I told the story about Ron Clark. And you know me, I'm in love with Ron Clark here. About how he had written this fantastic book, and the book was 140,000th ranking on Amazon. And then on Oprah Winfrey's show, so he sent a copy to Oprah Winfrey because she inspired him writing the book. And then on her show, she literally says, America, go buy this book. And during the webinar, I told you guys in less than 24 hours, but I went back to it and I saw that within 1 hour of her saying it, that book moved from 140,000th ranking to second right after Harry Potter. That is what influence looks like. So all this thing you are complaining about, the A to Z movement, the LGBTQ, ERG, no, you are making too much noise. You're pouring spit on my face. What are you doing about it? Darkness thrives because light has refused to shine. It's simple. So that influence you're running away from, these people have influence. That's why they're pushing whatever mandate it is. So stop complaining. Stop complaining that they're pushing out devilish content for our children. Start doing something about it. That is why influence is important. It's a tool. Start using it. Those are my final friendly words to you. God bless you, and we love you so much. Thank you so much, Mary, for having me. It's been an absolutely fantastic
God. Thank you very much. We should not end. We should just continue this gist. Thank you very much. Okay, everyone. Thank you for joining right back. Sorry about the interruption. but you'll get the video on YouTube when it is uploaded. Latest by Monday, it will be uploaded on YouTube. And the YouTube channel is Mary the Millionaire Teacher. So just go to YouTube and you catch up with other episodes there as well. So, but just quickly before we go, Coach Grace is Grace Amoka. Yes, you'll be hearing me say Coach Grace. Yes, because she's my coach in this teaching thing. All right. So, Grace Amoka has a coaching program, and it's the last set for this year. Yes. So she didn't mention it, but I just have to mention it today. There was a webinar during the week introducing the coaching program for the last set for this year. So if you missed that webinar, you can contact her. But more importantly, if you want to be coached as a teacher, just so that, because she has said a lot, you want to shine your light. You want to be that teacher of influence, income, and impact. Like, you're not just teaching maths and English. You are teaching beyond maths and English or science or whatever. You're beyond the classroom kind of teacher. If you want that, please, quickly, go into her DM, chat her up, and tell her that you want to join. Because this is the last set for this year. I'm telling you that you want to start your 2024 on a very, very high note. Like, if you want to wait till next year, that's your own business. You can wait, but I mean, you'll be making so much effort to catch up with the train. Why don't you just join the train while the train is still at the train station? So that by the time 2024 starts, hey, you'll be in the train and you'll be waving bye to those who are trying to catch up with the train. So please, my darling teachers.
Kind of you.
Said I'm registering already. Yes. Okay, thank you very much. So please just head on to Andrew is not difficult. Grace Amoka. Like, you can't even miss it. Just send on there. Send her a DM. Disturb her. She can give you instrumental payment. It's allowed. She's that flexible. Just make sure that you are enrolled on it so that you don't miss this train ending this year. All right. So thank you very much, lovely Grace Amoka, for shining your light and inspiring others to make me your handbag. Oh my God. So that is if you want to be handbag, the handbags, there are plenty.
And we didn't even mention, but I'll share more details as time goes on. We're planning a hangout in Lagos. You really don't want to miss it, honestly. Like in-person hangout. I look forward to seeing all the fantastic people that I've been working with for a very long time. It's going to be so much fun, honestly. I can't imagine the energy we're going to have just having all of this fire. Like, these people are amazing humans doing fantastic things within and outside the education space. You're so much more. There are so many dreams in your heart and you need to start to birth it. And one way you can do this is to be in the company of people that are going somewhere. You need that energy. You need people to remind you of who you are and say, Mary, I think that you can be doing this better. I think that you need to collaborate with people. Where would you find those kinds of people to collaborate? So imagine the human. So please just be part of it. Honestly, you'd love, if you are in Lagos or Lagos environs, we're going to be around. You're in Abuja. Okay. So those of you in Abuja, it's not me you're going to send a message. Send a message to Lucy. I think she's on this. Lucy, the child educator. Just find her. I think she's even here. Lucy_child educator. Yeah. So send her a message and say, let's organize an Abuja hangout. When you people finish planning it, let me know, and then I will be in Abuja as well. So yeah, but Lagos is confirmed already. We'll share the dates and all the details. Thank you. Okay, I'm done. I'm gone. Thank you so much, Mary. God bless you.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everyone. So do have a lovely night and see you next time. Bye.